Hey everyone, it's Sarah and I am here with my 6th layout using my Scrap Stash kit. And I'm using this picture that I just put something on top of. I just posted that I was going to use that picture with my March hip kit, but I changed my mind. And the reason was, as I was looking through some of this while I was working with it, I kind of realized I had quite a few things that could go well with the topic of that picture. So I pulled it out and decided to use it with this kit instead. So just ignore that I said that. Sorry. Okay, so as I'm going through my supplies here, let me talk about the picture for a second. The picture it's a close-up of a cross stitch that I'm working on right now. And cross-stitching is something that I got into, I think I started when I was about 12. My mom taught me. And I guess it's kind of where my craftiness blossomed a little bit because I just fell in love with it. And I did a lot when I was younger and kind of through my teen years and stuff. And even in college I did some. I have a few in my house that I actually framed and hung up on my wall. But I don't know, I love it. To me, it's relaxing and I enjoy the outcome of it for sure. Sometimes it can get tedious, so I don't do it too often anymore just because it is kind of like, whoa. But right now I'm working on the one that is in that picture. I'm doing that for my sister for Christmas because it's funny and she likes all the cross stitches that are popping up that are like, you know, houses and farms and stuff like that. And then it has like a ridiculous saying, like that one says "word to your mother." So she loves that kind of stuff. So I'm making this for her for Christmas this year. And I also have one that I'm going to do for my parents for Christmas and maybe my nephew. My nephew's into Star Wars big time. And I found a cute, kind of smaller one that it's like cross stitch of all the Star Wars characters. So I may do that as well. So I wanted to document that I'm working on these, and when I took the picture and I was, working on it, I kind of thought, I'm kind of getting back to my roots here. So that's going to be kind of what the topic is, kind of going back to my roots. Every once in a while I do. I just pull out some cross-stitch stuff, find a cool pattern. Etsy has a ton of really cool cross-stitch patterns that are just awesome. And they're cheap. They're like, $4 or $5 and it's an instant download. So you download it and you have the pattern and stuff, and then you get your own supplies, but that's one that I got off Etsy. Okay, so supplies, what am I using here? Background paper there is from Making Memories, the pink polka dot. The large yellow polka dot paper, that's a fabric paper, and I'm pretty positive that's from Amy Tangerine. Pretty positive. And then I have a piece of craft cardstock in the center, the large piece. And I just have some scraps that I thought went well with it. I'm bringing in some of that aqua, and I'm going to end up, it takes me a little bit to kind of figure it out, and I'm watching Bones, but it takes me a little bit to kind of figure out. I'm going to end up doing almost like a patchwork behind the picture, and that kind of helps bring in the craftiness a little bit as well. So I'm just now kind of realizing that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to do like a block pattern on here. On top of the craft cardstock. So I'm going to just kind of place these all around here. And I kind of want to get at least one of those filled in hearts there showing. So I cut that down to make that work. And then I mounted my picture on top of a piece of aqua cardstock as well. I like the way that looks. Okay, so I pulled a few things here. Some of these things were from the Amy Tangerine stitched line, and they were things that I kept out. We got a package of those in one of our hip kits, and I kept them because they're crafty. And I kind of knew I would end up doing some sort of layout eventually because I was already working on some of my cross stitching for Christmas stuff. So I kind of just kept it handy because I knew that I would use it either here or in Project Life somehow. So starting from the top, the hello and the Create Everyday. Those are both from Amy Tangerine. The Create Everyday one is really old though. It's not from her stitch line, but it is an Amy Tangerine die cut. And the large scissors on the left-hand side of the picture is the Amy Tangerine stitch, along with the clothespin and the green circle heart that I put on top of that flower. That's all Amy Tangerine die cuts. And what else am I doing here? Okay, so I'm thinking about my title, and my title is going to be Back to My Roots. I'm going to use these Amy Tangerine thickers, and they are brown and they have kind of a white stitched outline on them. So I definitely knew I wanted to use this font. I have them in brown and in gray as well. So I knew I wanted to use the font with this picture, and I think it works out really well. So I have it sitting there, and then I realized I have this washi tape that I wanted to put underneath it just to kind of help ground it a little bit more. And I think that looks a tiny bit better. It wasn't like such a huge distracting issue or anything, but. So I'm going to go ahead and get some of these things stuck down. So I'm going to get these scissors down here. And this is from Amy Tangerine Stitched as well. It's a rub-on, a gold rub-on, but this thing will not rub on. I don't know what it is. And I had an issue with that package, and I checked to make sure I'm rubbing on the right side, and I am. But it's bunching up a little bit, and it's weird. I'm rubbing it, and I'm rubbing hard, and it's not coming off. Like, what is going on? I had issues with that rub-on package that we got in our hip kit, so I just tossed it. I was like, I don't want it that bad. I had issues with that rub-on package that we got in our hip kit. I don't know. Mine did not rub off very well at all. I didn't see a ton of other people have issues, so maybe I just got like a bad package or something. But some of them I ended up just tossing because they weren't rubbing off very well at all. And then some of them, if they did rub off, it was kind of chunky or just, I don't know. It was weird. So I'm getting these stuck down here. These are not sticky at all. Even in the package, they fall off all the time. So I'm using my quick dry adhesive to make sure those stay on. And I'm going to use some of these pink enamel dots. I'm going to use up all of the pink here. Kind of filling in some of the little awkward spots. Enamel dots are perfect for that. So I'm putting down the clothespin, which I was proud of myself for using a clothespin. Those are hard for me to use. They're not super trendy, but like clothespins or, is that a clothespin? Yeah, it's a clothespin. And then the wooden ones too. Those are called clothespins too, aren't they? I have a hard time using them for some reason. I don't know. I have a hard time using them. But I use one here, which is good. And I actually use clothespins when I cross stitch because I tend to bunch up the extra, what's it called? Not fabric. The material that you put your stitches through. I can't even think of the name of what that is right now. But usually on the top, you know, if it hangs off too much, it can get in your way while you're stitching. So I use clothespins to kind of roll it up, and I clasp them together so that they do not get in my way when I'm trying to stitch. So that kind of was relevant there. So I decided to take this spot, the right side next to the picture where I did not put the rub on. I decided to put my journaling there, and I'm going ahead and writing it on some scrap cardstock, and I'm going to cut them into strips and then place them all along the side there. I also, that layer, the bottom cluster there, the large flower is from Sassafras. I forgot to mention that. So I'm cutting them down into strips and putting them back together. And I'm watching Bones right now, guys, and I just started season 8. I'm a couple into season 8, but I ended on season 6, and that's when the very last episode, I don't want to ruin it for anyone who hasn't seen it, but apparently they got together. I don't think that's a big secret to anybody, even if you haven't watched it. But the way they did it really ticked me off. Like, I was angry the way that they did it because I kind of felt cheated. Like, they didn't show anything, and then all of a sudden, like, this big thing happens to them, and I'm like, wait a second, when did this happen? And I called my mom because she's watched every episode too. And I called my mom and I was like, Mom, like, did I miss something? She said, no, I remember feeling that way too. Like, I'm not sure why they did it that way. I was really, like, I was upset. Which is a little bit sad that it upset me that much. But I was like, what is going on? And it took me a while to kind of get over that. And now I'm into season 8 and now I'm kind of okay with it. But I was like, what is going on? It's sad. It's sad, guys. I know. But regardless, I am really enjoying the show. Okay, so now I am doing some faux stitching around the outside of my layout, and I just felt like it needed something, but I didn't really want to outline and I didn't want to ink or anything. So I thought, what if I do some faux stitching? So I'm just taking my pen and I'm literally just making little stitch marks all around. I'm not doing it on the fabric because it would kind of bleed into it, but that's it. The only thing I do add after the camera is off is I do some sprinkling with some Heidi Swap Color Shine in Primrose, and that is going to complete everything. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll see you again soon. Bye, guys.